Chapter. In the previous lecture, we already discussed uh, what what are the software are useful to develop using the C language. In that particular section, we understand the structure of a C language. Uh, for the beginning, when you start writing the program, then you must understand the structure of the C language. Because if you not understand the section, each section of that structure, then you cannot write in the proper way C language, C program. So in that particular video, we discussed the structure of a C language, C program. The first, the section is that documentation section. In that the content is that section, documentation section is the name of the program and the author name and the for which purpose we write the program. It is very helpful if you documentation the program, then it's very helpful to the other user to understand the content or why you write the program. And next section is the link section. Link section, that means it consists of the header files. Link section define some linking. That means the header file, we already know that in the header file there are many predefined function are present, and if you use that predefined function in our program, then you include the header file, and through header file the definition part of that predefined function we extract from the library and include in our program. That is the link section. Next section is the definition section. Definition section generally is we define the variable. That means define like hash define. That means constant. We generally define the constant term using the hash define. That is the definition section. And next is the global declaration. In the global declaration section, we generally globally declare the function. That means the prototype declaration is defined in the global declaration section. Next is the main function. The main function is the very important part of that structure, because if you not use the main function, then compiler cannot understand, and the compiler consider that it is not a program because you not mention the main function. The main function and the starting point of the execution. That means program is executed from the main function only. That's why main function is very important, and main function is it has two parts. One is the declaration part and another is the execution part. In the declaration part, we declare all the variable of the program. It is the restricted and define the rules that in the C language you must declare all the variable in the declaration section. You cannot declare variable in the execution section. In the execution section, generally we define the main part of the program. That means our task, we define that the execution section. In the last section, that is the user defined function. In the user defined function, whatever we declare in the definition section, in the global declaration section, whatever we declare the function in the global declaration section, we define that function in the user defined function. So we understand full concept using one programming. So let's try one program and understand whatever that the section are used in here. So the program is like that. First is the documentation section. In the documentation section, we generally use the command line. Command line, generally in C, two types of command line are present. One is the single line and another is the multi-line. Here we use the name of the program, write a program to display area of a circle. And next we use the author name. Author is like my name, so sad. And last is I also mention the date, like that 31st May 2020. And after then we uh, com- complete the comment lines, and it is the called as the documentation section. And the next section is the link section. Here we define the header files like has include stdio.h. And if you mention other header files, you can mention in that particular section. Next is the definition section. In the definition section, you must define. It is the optional. You may define or not define. It's the definition section. That means here we define like that. Has defined pi 3.14. And you must remember that in the after the has defined statement, when you end without semicolon, that means generally the syntax is that in any statement when end we terminated symbol are used like semicolon, but in that particular things you must not include the semicolon at the end of that line. And next is the global declaration. We must here we also declare the global declaration section like that int or float area, the function name, and after then float. That is the prototype declaration. That is the global section. After then main function. So main function is that int main, and in the main function here we generally calculate the area of the circle. So here we declare the declaration section. We use that use here generally the declare the variable name. So that is the float r. R is the variable. Here you maybe use the single command line, that is r is denoting radius of a circle. That is the command line. It is very helpful to understand other user about that program. And next we use that printf statement. Enter radius of circle, that is the message. And after then we use the scanf statement. In the scanf statement generate percentage f, you use the float and ampersand r. And next we display that printf area of circle is percentage f, comma, generally calling the function. That's why we use that area and the r. After then float. Before float we use the int. That's why we return the value of that main function, return 0. And next we define the function. For that purpose we use that float area float r, and here we return pi star r star r, return the function. That means if we include all the section here like that, it is the documentation section. And next it is the link section, and has defined, it is the definition section where we define the constant, and that is the global declaration. Here is prototype used, that is the main function. And in the declaration section, that is the declaration section. And that is all that part is the execution section, and next is that is the user defined function. So that is the user defined function. All the section we try to conclude all the section here, and one question is that all the section is mandatory. It's quite no, because all the sections are not mandatory. That is the mandatory section is that the link section, because you must define when you write the program. You generally use the link section, and then we use the main function and the declaration and execution section. That is the mainly you must include that. It is the must you include that section, and main function total you must include in your any program. If you write any program using the C language, that two section you must be use that, but the other section are optional. If your requirement wise, you must be include those section. Thank you.